Alright, welcome to Wargroove. And this is a Twitch stream. I might convert it to a YouTube video later. We're gonna make an FFA Fog of War map. I was trying to start an FFA Fog of War match the other day, and people were saying, oh, you know, there's only a handful of good maps. Armagon made some. There's this one that's okay. That one has FTA. This one is that problem. And I'm like, alright, well, we need more of these. We need more good FFA Fog maps. In addition to the Armagon ones, in addition to what we got, we need more. We need another good one. So I'm going to make an FFA. Alright, let's get started. I'm just going to dive right into the custom creator. And I'm going to make a new map. Alright, so my first problem is how big do I want this thing? It's going to be, let's just wipe everybody out. This is going to be a 4-player FFA fog map. So we're going to have to make very clever use of mountains for vision, forests to hide vision. Faded, throw something in the chat, make sure that you can hear me, that you've got this. But here's what I'm thinking. I want the middle of the map to be an almost... Alright, awesome. I want the middle of the map to be like this King of the Hill island surrounded by sea. And we're going to have double ports for each player, but the ports are restricted to barge merfolk. So no warships and no harpoons. They would just make the map have to be incredibly large, and I don't want it to be too big. The island in the center is going to have something valuable. I don't know if it's going to be villages or a barracks, maybe a barracks that can produce things that the other barracks can't produce. Something in the middle that's valuable, so that the players are tempted to fight over it, and you can land with the barges, or you could snipe things with merfolk, so it's very contentious. If you put stuff in the middle, you could be attacked from all sides, but you get a little bit of that benefit. Then as you go away from the middle, it's going to be a very open area with lots of roads. You know what, let me just make a miniature version of what I'm suggesting for the visuals. So there's going to be like this island connected to by bridges, right, for each player, and then obviously neater than this. This is just to demonstrate. And then outside of that will be a very open area with some roads. We're going to allow wheeled units in this open area, but they're going to be restricted from the rest of the map by terrain like forests and flagstone, so the wheeled units won't really be able to escape the opened area. And then further in the back, we're going to have the strongholds and the buildings and each person's like personal base, right? That'll be the most difficult thing to attack. So to punish turtling, right, you're going to have to go to the open area to get villages for economy. And if you want extra stuff, you've got to go to the island for something, I don't know what it is, something valuable. Maybe we'll make a hideout there. Maybe the only hideout will be in the center, or there could be like 2 or something. So that it's worth fighting over this. And then in the corners of the map, there will be some reason challenging to reach additional sources of income. We can make villages. Maybe there's gates surrounding them. Maybe even enemy AI units or something that are boxed in by AI barriers. So that way I don't have to make it a scenario map, but we can still have some kind of challenge. Or it could just be you need to build a barge and get it over there. So that's the general idea of the map. Red Jams is suggesting that if we allow turtles, you give more vision to players. The reason I was afraid to allow turtles is because if we put turtles in the water, then the turtles will counter the merfolk very heavily. They have a lot of movement. They see through reefs, and I've banned harpoons. So there's no real defense against the turtles. And it'll be a little bit FTA-ish. First person to get a turtle can zone out other people's turtles. We're going to have to build around that. That's why I didn't want to allow turtles. I think we're going to stick with dogs and air for vision. But that's a good point, and that's why I was hesitant about the turtles. Although if you have a good way around those barriers, I'd love to hear it. Also, what do you guys think about the map concept in general? Oh yeah, we got a lot of folks on. I was surprised we got like 10 people already. I think one of them's me, technically. So 9 people. Now, what do you think about the map concept? Do you think this could work? The idea is tiered risk. You have to take additional risk to get additional economy so that we can punish turtlers. The center is usually very powerful. Front switch. That's a good point. So Red Halo's pointing out the center of the map could allow for powerful front switching, which will give even more power to whoever controls it. However, because it's only accessible by bridges and surrounded by merfolk risk, front switching will be a little bit difficult from the center. So you really have to have an advantage to be able to do that. I think that'll limit front switching from the center a little bit while keeping it powerful and valuable so that somebody is tempted to go for it, and if somebody does take it, everybody wants to fight them to drive them off the king of the hill or this island. That's the idea. Alright. Faded, worry about center production. Maybe just design the center for now. There's always air. You can make turtle blockades with rivers. Merfolk still has. That's true. Red Gems is pointing out air could be the way we counter turtles, especially without harpoons. Like a harpy, for example, could block off a turtle. Even a balloon could do that. Problem is, turtles are so tanky to air. I don't even think a dragon can one-shot a turtle under normal circumstances. Merfolk still has all the movement and damage. That's true. But the second we start making air obligatory in the center, it's going to be very, very hairy. Mages hidden and forests are going to be strong. But that's cool. Maybe that chaos is a good thing. Alright, so let's go with Faded's advice. Let's design the map first, and then talk more about what we're going to put in the center, and go back to Red Jam's idea of adding turtles. So first thing we need to do is resize this thing. What's a good map size? We want this to be pretty big enough to be a 4-player FTA map, but not so big that it's unbearable to. And we'll start small and increase. I like that. So player 1, dead center stronghold. You know, that's really hard to attack if it's on a corner like that. I want the stronghold to be a little bit safe, but vulnerable enough. So let's put it actually a little bit off to one side, so that one side has a better chance of attacking you and killing you that way. I'll put it like at a diagonal here. We're gonna have, I think 2 racks is pretty solid for this type of FFA map. I don't want to slow it down too much. Although you've got a lot of ports and you've got air, so you have other ways to make units, but I like the options that 2 racks gives you. It's pretty close to the stronghold. That'll make it pretty easy to defend. Well, I need to see the center of the map going up. Yeah, so let's do... Now maybe tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is 2 X's. I don't know, just getting creative with the labeling system. And 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Heavy terrain, mountains, forests. That will lead into the open area. So scattered mountains, some conveniently placed forest tiles, especially near the barracks. Especially since I'm allowing rifles, I want that protective square you can always guarantee built on, that you're not under threat from the rifle. Yeah, Faded agrees that the hideout is pretty good. It's nice to have, but it's not winning the game. Burke asks about ports. I'm going to give everybody a port, but it's going to be closer to their side of the map. Alright, so we've got some terrain here for scattered defense. It's not broken. It's not like you could definitively turtle this, but there's definitely enough that you could put powerful things on here. It's pretty good. Okay, and then we've got the open area, which is going to be very road-based. So a road, I guess, that circles the island. Let's make it a broken road. I think a broken road is a little bit more dynamic. It gives you a bit more play. And if we're going to allow wheeled units, it'll nerf them a little bit. So we're going to have a broken road, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3 on this side. Okay, so then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, space. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Does that work? I'm not sure if that works, because 1, 2, 3 to the corner, and 1, 2, 3, 4 above. Maybe one mountain over here, maybe like on the corner. Yeah, we'll put them on the corners. Then you have this like mountain choke right here. That could be a little bit too powerful, actually. I don't want people to like put some kind of wheeled thing here and then be like, lol, you can't attack me. Alright, maybe not mountain. That would give you a little too much vision into the center, I think, with the size of the map. We're going to go forests. So we're going to have everybody gets... oh, I did that wrong. You there. Perfect. Everybody gets an entrance forest and one path that wheeled units can take. Actually, do we want to allow wheeled units in the center? I feel like that could be abused pretty heavily. Not sure. I might flagstone that off for now. I could change my mind later, but for now, let's just flagstone that option away, because I don't want somebody to like start putting ballistas in the center and being like, "Well, you can't touch me." Although merfolk can hit every square on the center with the way this is designed, so that wouldn't be the end of the world, even if you did that. It would create a very King of the Hill type atmosphere. You know what? I might allow wheeled units in the center. We'll see how that looks. We'll see how that looks, because I made it a very small center. It's very difficult to defend. Ooh, you know what else I want to do? I want to add more bridges. These corner bridges that don't actually connect. Or beaches! Yeah. Let's make them beaches. Very, very vulnerable tiles. There we go. Very risky. Center. Now we need objectives. We need a reason for people to go to the center in the first place. And I'm realizing that this double racks is actually stupidly oppressive because the distance from here to here is nil. So you can just reinforce this forever. There's no risk. Oh, I'm gonna have to make the map bigger, aren't I? Either that or move the bases to the corner instead of the... Yeah, I just don't love that. I don't love it coming from the corner. The reason is because then you're forced to fight somebody. And if you get, like, double-teamed, it's really, really problematic because there's nothing you can do if people decide to crunch on both your sides. And probabilistically, even if no one's doing it on purpose, someone's going to crunch on both sides and one person's going to get double-teamed. That's why I wanted to give them a defensive base very close to their villages so that they could still be in the game. They don't get eliminated early just from that bad luck scenario. So I think I'm going to move one of the racks to the corner, but keep the base in the center. I don't want to make it a neutral racks because then people might try to snipe each other's neutral rackses. Although that could be a great way to get someone to try to kill you, but... yeah, maybe I'll make it a neutral rack so you're on one racks to start, and I'll make it close to one side so that they have easier access to it. And it could also promote kind of like a circular attack pattern. Usually you want to do that with FFA. You want one person to be someone else's natural enemy that helps dissuade that situation where you have gang-ups. By forcing a clockwise or counterclockwise battle flow. Alright, I like that. Let's do that. Let's move one of the barracks to a natural expansion and make it neutral. It does kind of force you to either go for that first or risk losing it. But since it's so close to you, odds are your opponent isn't going to be able to swipe it. So it'll kind of be off to the corner here. That does make this a little bit difficult to assault, though, because you can just instantly reinforce it. That's the problem. Maybe this has to be a one-racks map. Also work in teams or only FFA. I'm designing it for FFA, so it shouldn't work in teams, but I suppose it theoretically could. We'll see when it's done. But for right now, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just designing it for pure FFA. Yeah, I think the size of the map is becoming a problem, because wherever I put the second racks, it just becomes so easy to defend any position near you. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the racks all the way back here. They're not going to be something you can attack. Ooh, I know what I like. Let's put the stronghold further to one side to encourage you to go over there. And we'll put Mr. Double Racks over here. That kind of really pressures you to fight here where you have instant reinforcements, but you have to put troops here, but the other guy has instant reinforcements here, so you can't ignore it. That will prevent you from turtling. You're sort of forced to fight. And I could tweak it a little bit if it's too much. I could move the stronghold like 1 square closer, make it just a little bit safer, or a little bit more risky. Yeah, we can tweak that as needed. It's promoting more combat than I would have liked. I wanted you to focus on the center, not the sides. Maybe we'll tweak this just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So you have very powerful reinforcement here. You'll move 1 to the center like that. That you've got a center racks and a side racks. It's still pretty easy to defend this. So let's make it harder. How can we make it harder? That's how we can make it harder. It is now way more difficult to defend that stronghold. I love that. Okay. We're putting a hideout in the center of the map to answer your question. It's going to be contestable. So we could have a situation where you make it, grab a thief, get him the heck out of there, but then you someone else takes it and they can make a thief. This corner of the map is the only one we've actually built so far. Alright, so we've got a stronghold. Because the double racks has to be really close to it. Oh, you know what would prevent turtling? Actually, if I move the stronghold closer to the center. Because you kind of own this territory with your double racks. It's so powerful with the reinforcements. Let's move the stronghold even closer to the center. That would prevent turtling, but you don't necessarily have to fight either. Put it like right there. And I'm going to keep this weird blockade thing to slow you down a little bit. Maybe move it like this. So that you can't go right there. You've got to kind of go around a little bit. It's not a big nerf since, you know, you can't move diagonal anyway. But it's difficult to attack things that find their way behind the stronghold. But if you lose hideout, thief can't drop off gold. That's true. That's completely true. Red Jams makes a great point. If you make a thief but lose the hideout, you can't drop off the gold. So everybody needs a hideout that can't build anything just for dropping off the gold. Yep, Faded said the same thing. Alright, yeah, well, we're in agreement here. So everybody needs a nerfed hideout. Okay, I like that. We're going to put it right there, and then we're going to use this tool to limit what it can build to nothing. It is a hideout that can do nothing. So you get your thief back here, you can deposit the gold. You know what? Actually, that's too safe. And it's too boring because it would take forever to get your thief there. You know what I really want to do? I'm going to make neutral hideouts that can produce nothing all across the map so that you can fight over them. Yeah, let's put them in really vulnerable spots. Like, okay, your stronghold is here. We'll put the hideout here. Yeah, I like that. That way, there are these hideouts strewn all across the map in these vulnerable positions that don't build anything. And you can deposit to any of them and capture them to use them as blockades, or steal them. Just all kinds of shenanigans. And let's just throw some on the sides for now. That might be overkill. I don't know. What about gates somewhere for thieves to sneak through? Gates are weird, but that's a good point. I would like to see some gates. And having thieves have the ability to sneak through gates could be pretty cool. Might be interested to have like a gated off section of the stronghold so that if you don't kill those gates, a thief could get in and steal your stuff, and then it would be really hard for you to hit it. You know, we could put it on a forest tile too, so that like so that you'd have to have a dog, although the mountain kind of gives it away a little bit. So this would still be a little bit difficult to pull off. Yeah, and you could just kill the gates. I don't know, do you think that's fun or overkill? What do you think, guys? Don't forget this will be giving vision in the center. That's true. It will be giving vision. Only one square, though, due to the recent patch. So it's not a lot of vision. But you're right. I don't love that it gives all that extra vision. Maybe we remove some of them. And skip. Okay. Wait, what? 1, 2. Oh, how does this have 3 breaks? I done screwed up. That's not supposed to be a break. Yeah, map asymmetries. They're gonna get you. Okay. Now, gosh darn it. This is harder than it looks because you've got to make sure everything is symmetrical and even for the players. Alright. Alright. We're going to kill you. And we've got this, skip one, this, skip one, this, skip one, this. Perfect. Alright, and then we'll have some on the sides and stuff too. Maybe like over here, opposite side of your stronghold, because I don't want to encourage more engagement here. This is something you have to defend, but because you're defending it, you lose income. So I'll put it on the other side, opposite your stronghold, to force you to make decisions. I want to force you to make as many decisions as possible. So this side has the hideouts, and this side has your stronghold. Alright, I'm liking how this is looking so far. I really am. We've got double racks. We've got this stuff in the center. Now, everybody gets a port that can only make, I guess, merfolk. It's too small for barges. Where do we want to put the port? The problem is the port is basically an invincible square. Perhaps 2 per side would be good enough. I think so, too. 3 grass on the top side between lakes and road. Yeah. Okay. Where do we want to put the port? I'm thinking like a deep port that you'd have to... Oh, right. I'm allowing wheeled units here, but not here. That means everything in this barrier has to block wheeled units so that they can't escape this fort. Because I don't want, like... Yeah, I really don't want, like, trebs on the stronghold. I guess we've got Nuru, so that could happen, but Nuru is its own problem. Let's see. I won't think about that for now. We'll worry about that later. That's icing on the cake stuff. So where do we put the port? I think a deep port, and you have to sort of walk your merfolk over here to make it useful. Otherwise, it'll just give you the option of having a discount archer. It's a little bit weak. Maybe we need some river to make the merfolk a little bit better. It could also be some terrain that wheeled units can't pass through, so let's create some river tiles like this. Now that's a little bit too defensive. You have to be able to break this, theoretically. So here's what we'll do. We'll put the port maybe on the stronghold side, because I don't mind so much if you've got merfolk over here. And we need C so that the port can exist, so we'll put like some C there, and then give the player a port. And then make some river. That will also make it a little bit more difficult to reinforce the stronghold to some degree, because you're fighting past all this water. There we go. And then they've got a pseudo path to the water where they could be a little bit powerful. These corner squares, let's make them river tiles. Yeah. Strongholds look a little too close to trebs from the outside. I'd move it back a little. That's a good point. I might tweak that a bit later. But yeah, you're right. I'm just going to try to finish this bit first. Okay, now we need to figure out where we're putting air, and of course, all the villages. And then we'll start doing like FTA counters and stuff. So I think that... How's fighting on this map going to work? We've got a very dynamic center. There's a lot of stuff you can do here, but you're kind of a sitting duck. the second you move on to this. So it's really grab the center, grab a thief, and then get it the hell out of there, or grab a rifle, airlift it out of there. You're going to want air units and balloons. You're going to be afraid of your opponent's mages. So that means that the most powerful thing on the road is a ballista. You are going to want ballistas on the road. Yeah, I'm really encouraging a lot of heavy artillery near the stronghold. I want to make sure that can't happen. I don't want you to be able to defend your stronghold with heavy artillery. I'm going to put river there, block it off with flagstone here. Now let's make that carpeted flagstone so it's a bit more obvious. Oh, quick tip, 1 to 5 about above QWERTY opens up the menus. Spacebar changes between players. Tab to open, close, shift to make the terrain cursor. Really? Whoa, that's awesome. All right, Red Jams with the pro tips. So if you're on PC, 1 through 5 lets you switch through different things. Oh, that's so cool. QWERT opens up the menus. It doesn't seem to be working for me. W's moving me up, D to the right. Maybe I need to press 1 first? No. Yeah, it's just moving me up and down. Spacebar changes between players. Let me try that one. Or maybe I have to have this open to do it? Maybe. Okay, yeah, spacebar is changing between players. And QWERTY, okay, QWERTY is like up, down, left, right. Cool, so lots of hotkey tricks there. That's awesome. Why is beaches there? Seems like it would weaken merfolk and not be too useful for land units. So it wouldn't really... I wanted some land there. You're right, it would weaken merfolk a little bit. But I like having beaches because they're fun. They're these super vulnerable spaces. If you stand on them, you're at risk of dying. If you stand next to them, folks could suicide units into you. And it forces the merfolk to maybe have to stand there and be a bit risky to hit something on the bridge. Unless they want to do it from melee. Each merfolk can only be hit by the next water space over. So it kind of creates an interesting dynamic. I like the bridges. And I guarantee somebody is going to want to put an archer on there at some point. Or use it to try to surround a unit that's like trying to block them off from crossing this corner. Nothing about QWERTY. Oh, got it. He didn't mean QWERTY, just above QWERTY. Tab is the one that opens, closes. Awesome! Okay, so you can use tab to do this menu, and then WASD to scroll through the menu, the number keys to open different menus. Oh, tab close, number keys open different menus, tab, and then WSAD. Awesome, and then or what switches players again? Spacebar? Spacebar isn't doing it. Shift, spacebar to change between players. Oh, it's not working. That's weird. I wonder if it only works for, this one. This guy. Yeah, okay, I guess it doesn't do it for villages. I wonder if that's a bug. It doesn't work on structures. Ah, alright, maybe that's a bug. Alright, cool, we learned some hotkeys. Where do we want to put air? I love air. I also don't want it to become too powerful, but with 2 racks it won't. You can always make mages, especially since it doesn't look like the income on this map is going to be anything too crazy. I don't know yet, though. I'll just plop it there for now. Alright, we sort of have something here in terms of production. This is a high production map. Very spammable. You can make a lot of stuff here. That worries me a little bit, so it needs lots of villages and things to fight over. And naturally, with all the thieves, if you spam villages and then ignore them, you'll get stolen from. Okay, so you have 100 income from the stronghold. We'll have some easy expansions here. Just like stuff there, one in the corner to fight over. And throw down some terrain, maybe like flagstone randomly to the right of that village. Forest to the bottom of this one. Whoops, didn't mean to kill it. Let's put that back. Yeah. I smite you. Okay. Put a village there, flagstone here. That's looking pretty good. Now let's add some mountains. corner mountain, super awkward spot to get into, but you get vision of this area. You know what? Let's actually put the mountain here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all right. Vision of all of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So this mountain is a bit of an awkward spot. And I like, you know what I want to do? Corner forest. This mountain can reveal it if you put a dog on there. But otherwise, it's pretty stealthy corner forest. Yeah, I like corner forest, because then you can like hide a unit there. And we'll have creeping forests all along here. So the mountain, a dog on that mountain sees everything. Maybe that's just too powerful. Yeah, it's a little bit too strong. Here's what we're going to do to nerf it a bit. We're going to move the mountain back to here. Right next to that forest. So that you could put a dog on there, but then you might get, like, attacked from something hiding in the forest. And I want to giant chain these forests so that a giant could theoretically creep across the map. Or alchemist chain, I guess. Or dog chain. So anything with 5 movement and walking could theoretically creep across the map. But you have to own this village for it to do it. Because 1, 2, 3, and then put it there. Cool. Alright, that's looking pretty neat. I kind of like that. Yeah, PC gets shafted here. That's why I like making matches on my Switch sometimes. It's easier to switch from P1 to P2 structures. I like PC. I'm a fan of PC. But, you know, all the consoles have their pros and cons. Alright, so because this is here, I'm going to up the flagstone a little bit by these villages so that... I don't want to, like, completely screw air because I really like air. But it's too easy to reinforce this because you've got this right here. I'm gonna add some castle walls. Yeah, because like it's too powerful. It's just way too powerful. Let's cut that off. You're just straight cutting that off. You want to reinforce this? Go around. Go through the forest. There we go. I don't use castle walls a lot usually, but I like it for making this small map a bit bigger. Because I really want to slow down anything trying to reinforce this. An archer can maybe hit this square, but that's about it. And also, your tower here is pretty vulnerable. It could actually get stolen if you're not careful. I like that. I like that a little bit. That you really have to put units on the other side of these castle walls. You have this double racks, but it's hard to reinforce anything. So you have to think a few turns ahead. But my air. Yeah, I know what you mean. I love air too. I mean, I'm literally the sneaky dragon because I love making dragons. And you can still make dragons. They'll be really powerful here. There's this road for the dragons. I put that there on purpose. Oh, let's add more road, actually. Like, we added that broken road. I think we could do a little bit better. I think we could put some road in the center. Make these, like, super vulnerable tiles. Yeah, this whole thing is crazy. And this square is a little bit awkward, so we can make that a mountain. It would give you a lot of vision, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, any dog on any of the mountains gives you vision of the whole island. But maybe I want that, so that you can, like, encroach on the island. And then harpies get a little bit of a buff here. Oh, yeah, this island is looking amazing. Look at all this terrain. I'm almost tempted to just straight up make this flagstone so that we have this really weird spirally situation. Let's do it. Let's make that flagstone. I love this. Okay. It's starting to look like Lash's Playground. Can we call this Sneaky's Playground? I might call this map Sneaky's Playground. Because look at that. It's like straight up Lash's Playground from Advance Wars 2, where Lash is just like, I'm going to break a village and just make the tiles everywhere. That's beautiful. Okay. Alright, that's pretty cool. I think this is solid. There's like a bunch of creative options you can do here, a bunch of blocks you can try. We've got like literally almost every tile you could stand on here. That's so cool. Alright, so you have this weird kind of gimmicky heavy terrain area where you have very rapid reinforcements. You can make wheeled units, but You know, I need some flagstone here too, so that the wheeled units can't go over here, because I don't want that. Or that. There we go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, Treb can still hit that. Come on. Work with me here. But I still want air to get through. Gosh darn it. Okay, air can go through forests. So we'll do that. Yeah, let's... No, but now it's too dense. Way too dense. Mountain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you can see what's happening here. Yeah, but you've already got mountains. You don't need those. That's too powerful. Like, every piece of terrain incurs these, like, these additional things that I just don't want to create. Alright, rivers. Yeah, rivers, obviously. Why would you be standing here? You could put an archer there. That's fine. I don't mind. Go ahead, put an archer there. That's okay, but I don't want the Treb there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And you could put a ballista there if you really want to. So I'll weaken that option a little bit more. And then, yeah, I'm already blocking it off, so I don't need it here, too. Good. Solid. I think we've covered it. Oh, no, you could still put one here, technically, but... Yeah, Trebs. Now I'm appreciating how hard this stuff is for map makers. Put a little bit of flagstone there. Alright, so you want to make a wheeled unit, it's got to come through the center here. Kind of got no choice in the matter. Yeah, let's stick to carpet. I like carpet because it's easier to see, so it doesn't trip you up like, what? That was flagstone? I'm making my own map now. Yeah, make your own map. That's what this video is for. Let it inspire you to make maps. Alright. So we've pretty much got this stronghold covered. You're not gonna be able to use heavy artillery to destroy it, except from like right here. So we're gonna add some more roads there to make that super duper vulnerable. Yeah. This whole area is like death by dragon. I mean, not that you'd want to trade a dragon into somewhere where they potentially have a ballista, but you get the idea. It's really, really vulnerable. Oh, can I make that beach somehow? Oh, I wish I could. I wish I could. There's no sea here. That would be so great if I could make that, like, beach. Alright, it's pretty vulnerable, but you can do it. Let's get rid of these gates. I don't think they're really adding anything. And I want a mountain next to the stronghold. Will that just make it too defensive, though? Because a mountain is a great score to attack. But alright, let's put a mountain here. But I'm also going to give the opponent a way to hit it with, like, archers and stuff. A little bit of a forest there. Corner there. Okay. I think that's pretty solid. And then it would look like this when I mirror it. Not bad. Not bad. I think it's coming together. Alright. Asking everybody in the chat, what do you think about this map so far? Do we have a good structure? I think obviously it needs some more villages. Definitely it needs some more economy, because right now it's got like 400 gold a player. That is not going to work. How would you suggest taking care of FF? Alright, so for first, second, third turn advantage, I'm going to finish the map first before I start tweaking that. Since it's FFA, whoever goes first obviously does not get the starting sword. Whoever goes second gets 1, whoever goes third gets 2, whoever goes fourth is usually screwed. I might just give them 3 swords. I don't know, or like a mage. I might just straight up give them a starting mage, because it's FFA. It's not going to be synchronous. It's not going to be fair. I should probably use asynchronous FTA counters. And that's more fun anyway, like one player gets a mage. That might make you want to play player 4 for a change, right? We'll think about it. Maybe everybody will get a different starting unit, and player 4 gets a more powerful one. Now, the problem is, of course, player 4 is next to player 1, but... Okay. So we need more villages, more things to fight over. This area is definitely a great spot. Let's put a village right here. so that you have this really interesting situation where you could take the village, go on the mountain, but maybe get hit by something from these forests. It's pretty neat. I'm going to put another village here. So you've got 500 income per person. Anything I do to a quarter of the map is per person. The island is too small to hold income, though. So we're going to have to put all of the income around the island like this. Which will sort of make it a little bit more defensive going through your bridges. Yeah, and this is your opponent's base. So there's not much more I can do. I might have made the map too small. So it's not going to be crazy high income, this map. I'm going to give more income by allowing you to capture this, which is really interesting because you can take it and then prevent your opponent from using the racks to reinforce. It could be a good way to kill somebody. Yeah, I really like this because you really wanted, what you want to do at the start of the game is capture the bases near your stronghold, get lots of money and protect yourself from like a rush. But then as the game goes on, you want to start invading your opponent's territory, and all the while pushing towards the center. So since you want to be pushing towards the center, I might kill this mountain and replace it with a neutral village. Get some more economy there in the center. I might put one here too. This is another point because it's near the mountain that you can't cross unless you own the village. So owning this village could give you power in taking the stronghold. This double mountain thing seems a little bit too strong. I'm going to replace this mountain with a neutral village. I'll give you a little bit of vision, that's okay. Probably buff the defender a little bit, but I think that's alright. It does let them get wheeled units in here, which is not what I intended, so I'm going to put double river here to punish that a little bit. Now I'm worried it's getting too narrow. It's too difficult to fight because there are a lot of chokes now. But ranged units like archers will be heavily slowed by the terrain. Maybe double racks is too much for this map. Maybe double racks is just too much. I'm giving you a port that can make merfolk. You've got merfolk for your second spammable unit. You've got the thief potential, the rifle potential. I don't know. Alright, Faded, Red Jams, anyone still in the chat, what do you guys think? Do you think maybe I should make this a 1 racks map? I don't want to make it too grindy or too impossible to close out the game. But I'm just wondering if 2 racks is just too many. If it's going to make it too clustered. How much income you thinking? So right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're like at 10? 5, 11. Right now we're at 1100. Yeah. I don't like this one. This one makes it just too clustered. It's too hard to fight here. I'm gonna get rid of that one, so it'll be 1000. Make that a road. Be gone. There we go. Make that a road. Oh, you know what could be fun? If I put a gate here, and then force you to decide whether to destroy the gate and let your wheeled units through, or alternatively keep the gate and use it to defend this area. But if you keep the gate, no one will be able to break it. That's the problem, because you could just put a treb behind it and be like, lol, try to break my gate, good luck. So let's make it a weak gate. And then you have the decision whether or not to break it, but someone can easily destroy it later. We'll put it at like 20 health, 15 health, 15. So you have to give it a good shot, but it can still go down. I think that's enough even a dog could kill it. Splitting racks further apart will reduce turtling. Yeah, I was thinking of that. But I just didn't want to put them too far. And also, that's true too, no one will attack into the racks because there's nothing here. You can use the gate option for players to connect racks. That's true. That's true. I have a fun idea. Earn your second racks. You can use that to farm Commander Groove, I guess, if you really, really want to spend your Commander just whacking this all game. Alright. For comparison, Math's Battlefield map is 19 by 19 1 racks. You don't see many maps that size using 1 racks, but it works because it's a fog map with 30 by 30 FFA. I think you're going to want 2 racks. Yeah, the thing is, it's a pretty big map, but it's also a pretty clustered map. Like, it's not difficult to get units out here. That's another thing. This kind of forces you to fight straight on and not go down. I need to promote down somehow. I need some kind of terrain to promote down. Let's put like a diagonal river series to promote down. Again, I wish I could just make you a beach. Make it a road, I guess. It's not as good, but maybe like a forest next to it. Maybe a forest here, road here. Yeah, so that way there's like a little bit of hefty terrain here, so that you can go down. It's still not enough, because a knight would just run through. I want you to fight here a little bit. I want you to take advantage of this. Let's put a wall here, just to see if anyone can do anything creative with that. And I want another mountain here. So you have this very weird... Yeah, but then you can't wrap around, I guess. But you could with a mage. Yeah, you could with a mage. There's this interesting dynamic here. You could fight with, like, terrain-based units. And you could bring out a knight over there. Do something over here. This is a little bit awkward. That square right there. Let's make that... Let's make that flagstone. You can get the mod, and you can put 4x4 beach circles. Oh, yeah, that's true. The expanded terrain mod. It's all about shapes you want to make with the terrain. You can make one of those. Rest assured, you'll be adjusting many things. Yeah, we're going to be testing a lot. That's true. I should download the Unicorn's expanded terrain mod. Or was it Ophelia? Was it Ophelia or Unicorn? I forget who made that. I think it was Unicorn. At any rate, it lets you make completely normal, non-mod needed maps, but with some extra terrain options. Like putting beaches wherever you want, which would be really great right now. Maybe I'll tweak that later. Unicorn made it. Got it. Alright, for now, this is pretty good. You kind of got this river tile blocking you. Maybe you could go straight through the hideout if you own it. Or you'd have to kind of go around this way. Ooh, I should kind of put something there, too. Maybe like a mountain. It'd give you a lot of vision power. So... maybe... what else could we put there? Sea! Nah, that's too restrictive. I'll just toss like another forest here. I'm just considering the paths knights could take. I don't want it to be too easy on them, but I still want to give them options. So you could go like over here, you could go around here. You've got a lot of options here to hit these different buildings, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can crit the forest, but you can't get to the building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could crit this building from this building, so you could crit chain that sort of. But you couldn't get to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you could, like, from here, you could crit chain down to there. So there's some knight paths, but knights aren't overbearing here. You could drop pikes here. They would still work. Air could fight here. They're a little bit limited by the flagstone, so they're not just immortal. And there's plenty of mage options to deal with air. You could build a ballista and extend it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which scares the hell out of me, so we're putting an end to that. I'm not letting you put a ballista behind a castle wall. Goodness, no. That's not happening. Yeah, you know what? Heavy units are supposed to go to the center, so I'm going to be heavy-handed with that. I'm not even giving you the option. Although I do want air to be able to walk through here, so we'll get rid of that. It's fine, and then make like a step they could take here, so that they could kind of go through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. But yeah, I don't want like crazy ballista shenanigans, and I want to allow ballistas on this map. I just need to limit them in a very sane capacity. You've got to take them through here. No other choice. And then air has to kind of go there. No, that's lame. Alright. We'll block this one. Get rid of that. And then air can kind of flow through here and escape out there if they really want to. Alright. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. We've limited artillery because we want to allow artillery. We've limited air. We've made it a little bit difficult to defend this, but you can still do it. And you're going to want to attack your stronghold's corner. That'll reduce rush gimmicks. But I suppose they're still possible if you go the wrong way and get greedy and try to steal your opponent's stuff. Or you could send 1 barracks to cap this, 1 barracks to do that. You don't have a ton of early income, so you'll only be really building off 1 racks to start with, because you only have 100 gold. You need to start capturing properties to get gold. Okay. I like this. I like this. I'm not going to make you guys watch me try to mirror this, because that will be ungodly awful. Like, I will literally have to count every terrain, and I'm not going to make you watch that. That would be terrible. But to make this map symmetrical, I need to repeat what I did here on all 3 sides. And if I put anything off center, I'm doomed. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No! Why? How? How did that happen? It's off center. Ah! I thought we counted. This is the center. Crap, I put it here. No. No. Red Gem says that's an easy fix. How do I fix? You go to map size. Yes. And I already put all my stuff in this corner. Oh, I guess I have to expand this corner, like make it a little bit bigger on the right side. Left -1, right +1. Yeah, but then I'd have to shift all of this over. I think I'll just make it a little bit bigger on this side, which, oh shit, but that means I have to make it, because it's a square, so if I shift it on this side, I can shift it on this side too, but this is the exact distance away. No. So I have to either shift all of this or the island. Oh god. Oh god. Alright. Alright. So I have some boring maintenance work I'm gonna have to do. Not gonna be in this video or stream, because nobody gotta watch that. Alright, so what do you guys think of the map in general? You've got a lot of villages on the side lanes that you'll be fighting over. You've got no villages in your immediate defendable territory, and there's heavy terrain preventing you from easily getting anywhere on the map. You can like put a balloon here, and then fill it up, and then camp it there. So you still have pretty decent reinforcement here, but so does your opponent, in the same sense that they've got to go around this stuff and their stronghold to do it, but they've got to defend their stronghold, so they will be putting stuff here, and they've got a port that will, based on where this port is, it would be like right here. So they have a port they can use to build merfolk to start attacking this stuff. That's pretty funny. Yeah, the issue is the island is 2 squares to the right. But it's perfectly centered. Left is too big compared to... Yeah, so, this is the center of the map up, down. But this mountain is the center of the map left, right. Actually, I think this is an even-numbered map to begin with. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's 30 by 30. So actually there is no dead center. So I'd never be able to put a hideout in the dead center anyway. If I add one to the right, I don't think that fixes it. Let me see. If I add one to the right, then from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? I thought I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? Maybe I'll add another one. Maybe I'll add 2. But whatever I do to this, I have to do to the other side as well. Yeah. Alright. So, let's see. You have... one player has the ability to make merfolks here, but they can't do it right away. One person can make basically just swords here to start. So they're going to make a lot of swords. And they've got to send them either to the center to go for the hideout, or some center villages, or over here to start capturing properties. We'll try to break this down. I'm going to start the codes maybe kind of here-ish so that they can decide whether to go for this or to start capturing stuff. Maybe put them on the mountain. I could put them all on the center island. That would be funny, but probably very FTA. Yeah, it would be a rectangle if I just add sides. Ah, but Red Gems is right. Then expanding the bottom could be interesting. And we could make the map a little bigger that way. But it would just be really behind the action. I'd have to move all this stuff back. Alright, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll expand the map to put this back in the center. And then move, unfortunately, everything back a little bit. And that'll give me a little bit more room. Yeah, it would be nice if there were a copy tool like that. Unfortunately. Why not, instead of those gates around the racks, you put wall tile instead and force units to go left? I'll slow them down a bit. So I wanted to restrict you to 1 racks until you broke this stuff. But maybe it's too important to break it and then everyone's like obligated to do it. And also with the terrain, it's already pretty slow. I don't know. It's not exactly what I envisioned. What I originally wanted was like barges and stuff here, and more sea for the merfolk to fight in, and more center interaction. Maybe I put too many villages here, because right now this territory is just saturated. I don't really need this. I want more fighting in or near the center, but there's just so much power here. You could limit one of the racks what it can build. That's an idea. I like the idea of one rack's going towards the center and the other time having a harder time going to the center. That's true. It would be nifty to have one rack go to the center. Maybe we'll move this. Put it a little bit lower. Like here. So it takes a little bit longer to go around like that. And it can't instantly deploy across this either. It's got to go around, so you can block it with just 1 tile. That nerfs this, but still lets you get air where you need it. There, there, and there. Then, because you have air here, I don't also want to give you a racks going left. But I do like forcing a racks to go right. It's just, it forces you to defend your HQ. I think the terrain, and everything being the way it is, you're already more or less forced to kind of send 1 racks in one direction and 1 in another. I don't think I need to force it any more than I already did. And I don't need to make this more difficult. I already banned wheels. I've already got that river there, so we can allow more stuff here. That's fine. So now this racks is way more open going to the right. And this racks. Oh, yeah, let's do that. That's fun. Oh, right, no, I need that open for a reason. But yeah, now you have to destroy this to build artillery. Artillery's got to go that way. Or better yet, let me put it on this racks so that you're making that active decision there. And then we'll carpet that. And then kill these. Merciful is going to be OP on this map. Yeah. Alright, so that's a little bit more like what Faded was saying. We have one Rax that can really go in this direction. So it'll be one Rax and a port. Theoretically, two. You could build a knight and send it that way. Versus a port and a Rax. Versus your opponent's Rax going through here and air. And you could theoretically build here and then balloon one thing there. Oh, yeah, that needs to be not that. But I don't really want, okay, let's make that river. That's got to be river so that you can't. Yeah, I'm using terrain to determine where you can put a treb, because I really want to be careful that I don't give people god trebs or god ballistas. God ballistas would be even worse. Alright, so here we go. You have to break this to start building the heavy units. That'll take a little bit of time to do. Now, I could even double it up. You gotta commit for this. You want it, you got it, but you gotta commit to it. What's with the unholy amount of torches? Oh, I was using those to mark what space I was on so I didn't mess up the center, though I messed up the center anyway. So we'll see how that turns out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish this, make a new map, make it the right size, take a picture, and then just do everything piece by piece and keep rotating the picture. I think that's the easiest way to do this. Alright, so you have to really, really commit if you want to get like those wheeled units out of the gate. If you want a wagon, if you want a ballista, a treb, you've got to commit. I think 2 gates worth of commit is pretty good, because it'll take a while to kill that. It'll take some commitment. It's not just like you make an archer and walk it forward while hitting the gates. You won't be able to do that. Okay, so you've got this double gate thing to prevent you from making wheeled units. Then when you have wheeled units, they can only exit through this gate and go into the front. But then they have all this road. Let's add a little bit more road that they can go on, making them a little bit more powerful, in that they can move and redeploy pretty easily. And you can start putting them towards the center of the map, though you won't be able to get them on the center because it's this like luscious playground mix of different types. We've got Scattered River, which not only nerf what units you can put where, but also make merfolk very interesting. I'm going to add another river tile somewhere that won't block a night path, like here. Yeah, I don't think that'll block a night path. And then you can have these merfolk. That doesn't chain, but let's put it there. Here. Then the knight kind of can't run through that. I think that's okay, though. So then you can sort of merfolk chain your way forward a little bit. 1, 2, move, 1, 2, move. Puddle hopping merfolk. Just keep that option opened. A little bit there. And this gets into your opponent's this, and I don't know what that looks like until I build it. Alright, so you've got merfolk, you've got double racks, limited artillery, air, possibly a hideout if you can capture it and get your thing the hell out of dodge. Since merfolk are all the way over here, and it's going to take a while to get them all the way over there. Should probably make that more hoppable. Let me just, yeah. Well, I need to see what the interaction of those two sides looks like. And yeah, it'll be a little bit difficult. You might need a wagon, but you could get merfolk here, and once you do, they're immortal except for air units. So it's interesting. Okay, so very contentious center. Very defended double barracks area, but it's limited by terrain, so it's, you could stack archers here. There's no attacking this. You can't attack into this. It's too protected. But you can attack your opponent's stronghold. And if you turtle too much, even if you build lots of range stuff, you'll just completely lose out on all the villages in the center and on the sides. I'm gonna put more villages on the sides. I want lots of fighting over those. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So each player will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. About 900 income, and more production facilities than they can use. Lots of dynamic terrain, crazy center. The fighting is mostly going to be here. And you're going to have to make big decisions on how to get your units out of there. It's not exactly what I was going for. I wanted way more forest fighting in the back, a much bigger center here, and a much more dynamic island. I think I was thinking of a bigger map, even with this incredible 34 by 34 size. I think it's just not big enough for what I had in mind, because I was thinking 3 layers, and that takes a lot of doing. But I like what this map became. I think I'm going to finish it. So I'll show you the finished product when we're done, but I think unless anyone has any advice, I'm going to stop the video here. Maybe I'll keep the stream on if I decide to do this right now, but this is going to take a while. And then I'm going to start rebuilding the map to fix the symmetry issues, make sides for every player, see what it looks like. At the very least 3 players. And then add commanders, FDA counters, and place through some examples just to test the opening. Map making is a lot of work. Major credit to the folks who do this every month, churning out new maps for the Wargroove Groove of War events, for the Test Your Metal, for the Wargroove community, the Groove of War community. Thank you guys, you're awesome. Major shout out there. Alright, I'm going to keep the stream running while I do a little bit of this. But I think that's going to be it for now if folks want to drop off. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful or fun or interesting. Now, how do I mute myself is the operative question.